Hi, it's me, Cyril Horjak, also known as Dr. Horowitz in the world of Slovenian comics. Come with me, I will show you how my working place looks like. There's a lot of stuff in this small office, a lot of painting materials and funny stuff, a lot of computers, sketches, books and so on. My work can be divided in three major fields. One is education with comics or through comics. The second one is illustrations for newspaper. And third one is working with kids with handicap, and especially with kids with autism. So when it comes to comics, here you can see my master's degree at the academy in progress. I teamed up with my dentist, and what you have here is a working copy of a comics explaining everything that you need to know, or everything that you always wanted to ask but you are afraid of asking about operations with teeth. So it's endodontic comics. Now this is very interesting because this is a doctoral dissertation, and a part of this doctoral dissertation is comics, and it's a very important part of the dissertation being explained in comics. And I was also happy to draw it for a friend of mine. Here's a nice little book explaining basically everything you need to know about comics in a couple of pages. Here's poetry and comics, piece that I did for Slovenia's poet. And there are two copies of internal newspaper Autoceste, which is published by Slovenia's company that builds highways. And I do these stories always on terrain. I always go on terrain and I make interviews, and I also make sketches of the story and develop the story together with people from the terrain. And this is, I guess, the most known Kuchna comics, kitchen comics. And this is comics that we use in Slovenia's catering company. And you have the wrong and right stories, and so you have. But you can imagine it's as you can see, a lot of drawing to be done. And this is some of my recent work. It's for the Večer newspaper. It's the Večerko character, and I also have to do this comics here. So this is education with comics, and this is I really enjoy doing this. And the second one is the second field is illustration that I do for Večer newspaper. So we have here Croatia entering European Union, being greeted by Madame Merkel. Here's the President Morsi being overturned by the generals, and Jesus Christ cleaning the courtyards of the church, Slovenian church. These are faces of some Slovenian big shots which got involved in money laundering and so on. The ethics of Slovenian businessmen. Here the Crusaders worshipping money as it has always been, and the illustration showing two faces of natural medicine, witchcraft and fancy schmancy medicine. Slovenian state, rotten, trying to get rid of the insects of scum, but here it's fair and just judicial system. Money being pumped into Europe, bombing for democracy, the crossroads to nowhere. This is illustration that I did before Slovenia's general elections, 99%. And fun illustration showing how a professor is trying to explain the dangers of icebergs, while the whole university is getting slammed into one. Here's illustration showing that our creed for our need for freedom, or for illusion freedom, is getting here on the material level. Quite a good life for some people, and a couple of portraits that I also do for Večer newspaper. I usually do 2 illustrations for Večer newspaper each week, but quite often 3 or even more illustrations. So it's quite a heavy routine. And now I'll show you just one piece that I did with a guy named Alec. And he's a guy 20 years old with quite a severe form of autism, almost unable of verbal communication. He has to learn by heart every single sentence, and he has to practice to be able to function in everyday life. But when it comes to visual intelligence and creativity, he's just great. And not just by him, but also with other kids with autism. I've had some really great experiences. We did really great projects, exhibitions, books, and so on. And here's one of our latest pieces. We started to work on the 2-point perspective, and here's a drawing that he did by himself, and I think it's a beautiful drawing. Here you have my instructions here written, because usually I have to write instructions. It's better than verbal. Now I'm posting this video for you guys in Israel, because I believe it had to be quite disappointing for you waiting for my response so long. And I just wanted to explain myself. You got to feel that my working day, it's long, and since it's been 10 years since our first son was born, and now we have 4 kids, mortgage, and so on, it really means that I have to work like hell. And trust me, I enjoy every moment of it. But suddenly my body started to say no. So I got pains in knees, in the back, and past 2 months were simply my body saying no to the whole tempo and the whole routine. So I simply had to make a break. And what I did, I just unplugged myself, and I did what was absolutely necessary for the newspaper to get published, and I just had to fill a little bit my batteries. So once again, I'm sorry that you have to wait for so long, and I will give you my telephone, and I will also try to call you, and we'll see what is possible to make in a fortnight or so, which is still left until me coming to Israel. So unfortunately, my trip to Israel comes at a time when I'm a bit exhausted. I have to admit it. I'm not a Superman. I'm trying to be a mensch, but I'm not a Superman. So once again, I'm sorry for my late reply, but we'll be in touch, and we'll do something good anyway. Thank you very much. Ciao, ciao.